Hey y'all, working from the office today. Had to stop what I'm doing because I need to tell you part 2 of my Tommy the Tumor saga. Yeah, yesterday, if you're following, was when we found Tommy. And the reason I did is because he made me purple. Yeah, so today is the 1-year anniversary of my great juicing. Let me fill you in. If you remember correctly, I left you off yesterday with possible organ failure and the appearance of a beach ball sized tumor, which we fondly refer to as Tommy. Okay, this tumor pops up, I turn purple, and they said, look, we don't even know what to do. We can't even get a doctor to see you, but we're going to find you one. Okay. Made it through the night. Literally, we just prayed and we just trusted God. And then the sun came up. And I don't know what it is about the sun coming up, but I just felt better because to me, bad things don't happen in the daylight. And so I'm like, oh, praise the Lord, we've made it. And so the sun came up and all of the medical people are coming in. You know, we got a new shift. Everybody's wanting to see this giant purple lady. People keep coming. Now, this is what was happening. I can hear you. I'm purple and I'm bloated, but my ears work fine. But yeah, but here's what's really cool. They would come in and they would come in like this. Not because of my frightful look, but because they're like, hey, look, when you went to bed last night, we thought your heart, kidney, and liver were failing. This morning, we EKG'd you all night. Your heart is working perfectly. And for some reason, your kidneys are completely functioning now. And all your liver enzymes are good. Yeah, I had an IV, folks. An IV because they wanted to have a port. Nothing in it, but just IV juice, whatever that is. Yeah, I don't know a lot about IVs, but I don't think they can make hearts and livers and kidneys start working. But you know what can? Prayer. Oh yeah, Rodney and I, we're feeling a little spunky now because we're like, all right, God is in this. We've got this. So in walks this doctor. I'll tell you about her tomorrow because yeah, there was a spiritual principle in that too. And that is God ordains my steps. I'll tell you about that tomorrow. But back to today. Today they came in, a year ago. They came in and they said, okay, you're going to the periocentesis room. Now to me, oh, that sounded fancy. Oh, I'm going to the periocentesis room. It's kind of like a theme hotel. And it's like, oh, I bet you it has like gold columns, very grease, old, no. It's really a room that was smaller than my office, freezing cold, a bed that I wheeled in on, and 2 workers. One who was willing to poke me, and the other one was keeping it all written down on a computer. Yeah, that was it. So they wheeled me to the periocentesis room. I left my family in my room. And the last that we were told was, hey, she'll be just fine. Well, unless she's not. You know, as much fluid as we have to pull off of her, there is a chance of stroke. Or her electrolytes could be imbalanced. It could cause a heart attack. And you're just thinking, seriously? Can you never give me good news? Why can't you just say, we got this, she's fine? No, you have to go, dun, dun, dun. Bad things will happen. Seriously, if you're a doctor, take my advice. Get more good news. Quit giving so much bad news. Yeah. So here they come. They drop the bomb on my family, and then I'm like, see you later. Off we go wheeling down to the periocentesis room. Wasn't Greek at all. No, or Greece. Is Greece and Greek the same thing? I don't know. Oh, anyway, so I go to this ice cold room and they scrub up my belly and I'm thinking, oh, I wonder how they're going to do this. Oh yeah. You know what they do? They just stick a giant needle in your gut. I wish I could zhuzh it up a little bit and go, oh, it was not. But here's the deal. She goes, all right, I'm going to rub this little numbing stuff on your tummy. Okay, that's fine. Great. I'm liking that. And now we're going to use this needle. We're going to stick it in there and it's going to run out. And I'm like, there's a little bit of numbing stuff, and that's a pretty big needle. I don't think your ratios are right. You might want to use a little more numbing stuff. Now, look, I've had a tattoo. I can handle needles. But I don't know about just sticking it straight into my belly. It wasn't just sounding good. So as I'm debating with her on how this could work and, am I going to feel it? She goes, look, we've already got you running. I'm like, I got this. I told you, I'm brave. Nothing to this periocentesis stuff. And honestly, it really wasn't. I didn't even know she stuck me. So another answer to prayer. So all of this stuff is running out and I'm just visiting. And in case you haven't noticed, when I get nervous, I talk a lot. So I start a conversation with the computer person. His job, he was probably mid-60s. His job was to detail, write down every drop that came out of my body, because they were removing so much. If they didn't put back in a certain amount of protein, that's when the can happen. So that's pretty important because he's monitoring. So she's like, okay, we have 2 liters of blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, 2 liters. All right, we need to put in 3 cc's. Okay, we got that. And so as she's pulling out, he's putting in. So I'm like, so, how long have you been doing this job? What else am I going to do? I'm laying there getting juiced. Big mistake, because next thing you know, he's going, I just got divorced recently and I'm so lonely. And I live far away from my kids. And I'm like, you're going to be fine. You're going to find somebody. And I'm thinking, hello, you haven't added my proteins in a while. Huh, yeah, I'm sitting here literally at the end. He gave me a hug. I feel like I could be your best friend. And I'm thinking, dude, if you didn't give me enough protein, I'm going to track you down. I will. But no, fortunately, I gave of myself as he gave my protein, as I gave my food. Yeah, there was a lot of giving going on, but fortunately, I'm here this year, so apparently he was able to be consoled and do his job effectively. Good job, Mr. Paracentesis man guy thing. But yeah, I digress. So they pulled all of this out. How much, you say? 2 liters? No. 3? No. Maybe 14 and a half? Yeah. Specifically, 44.5 pounds of fluid. 44.5. Seriously, you guys, I have been on diets my whole life, and if you add up all of them together, how much I've lost, I don't think it came up to 44.5 pounds. By far, my greatest weight loss in 2 hours ever. So they wheeled me back to my family, and here's what they told me. Look, that had put so much stress on you, it has shredded your abdominals. You have nothing. And so literally my belly looked like a half full waterbed. It was just going, blah, 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 blah. And when we turn corners, I was just like, woo. It was hilarious, which made me laugh, which I couldn't do because I had no abdominal muscles. You didn't realize it took muscles to laugh, but here was me. That was all I could get out. It was kind of sad, but my family laughed at me. So they've removed my 44 pounds, and up until that point, because the bloating was so large, I didn't have any lung capacity. So to even say just a couple words, it was grueling, and I sounded like an obscene phone call. Now my lungs are in there going, oh gosh, it feels so good to be able to expand again. So they wheel me into the room, and here's my family. It's like, hey, she's not dead. Good sign. Yeah, okay. And here am I. Well, guess what happened while I was down there? I met this really nice guy, he just went through a divorce, and I'm so sad for him. And I really feel like maybe we should have him over for dinner. I wonder if it would be appropriate. I just was like a volcano of words. And my family starts laughing, and they're like, did they give you caffeine while you were there? What's in a paracentesis? And I go, no, they only take out. I am just able to finally talk again because that pressure had been relieved. Sidebar, Rodney hates this part. I had so much hanging skin, it literally hung down to the middle of my thighs after that. And so when I would walk, it would slap against my thighs. I said, I'm the only person that could run a marathon and applaud herself the whole way. I was my own cheering section, but I digress. I'll tell you all the rest of that story later. But anyway, so now I've made it through the paracentesis. It's now quiet, and here's the spiritual principle of that day. I had been believing all along that one morning I was just going to wake up and this was just going to be like, when you untie a balloon and it goes, and yeah, I literally thought that was going to be minus the flying through the air. I just literally thought I was just going to deflate one time. It didn't happen that way. So my spiritual principle that day was I was laying there thrilled to no end that I could finally take a deep breath, still a beach ball in my belly. And so, by the way, I'm going to post some pictures down underneath this of pre-paracentesis, post-paracentesis, and all the juice. So yeah, but my spiritual thing was I was sitting there and I was going, God, why? And here's what's interesting. I was taught years ago, you don't ask why. God is God. God makes the decisions. God does what he wants. And you don't, you're a little peon. You don't have a big finite brain. You are infinite. Yours is finite. You don't have a brain to ask questions of the Most High God. And I get it. He told Job that. Who are you to ask the Most High God? I get that. But here's the deal. Jesus himself, when he was on the cross, said, why have you forsaken me? Now, here's the difference. To say, why, God? What's going on? I don't understand. Out of a humble, contrite spirit that just says, I need to know what's happening, is so much different than, why? Why did you let me down? Woo! Do you see the difference? And so if you go to God and you humbly say, God, I don't know what's happening. I need guidance. I need direction. I need clarity. I need something. I need to know you're there. He totally answers those kind of prayers. And he did answer mine, but I can't tell you today. That's on another video because it's part of the end story. But that being said, I made it through the periocentesis. I was juiced beautifully. I shrunk back up eventually. My words haven't stopped flowing, so I don't know what they unleashed when they were in there. All right, tomorrow is He Ordains My Steps. All right, stay tuned.